Hi everybody. Hello. Welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome to my channel. I am Lisa and this is North Star Energy Healing. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about hypnosis because this morning as I was talking to my guides, I got the message that they want me to do a Gemini reading. So I was all set to come in and do a Gemini reading for today. However, as I was getting ready, taking my shower, I was listening to one of my favorite people, Alba Weinman. She is I think she is classed as a hypnotherapist. I'm not sure, but she does a type of hypnosis where you can go to past lives, you can release entities, attachments, things like that. You can deal with things that have happened to you in this current life, all of it. And I was listening to a Zoom chat she was having with Antonio Sangio. Antonio is in North Carolina. Alba is in Florida. I would love to have a session with Alba. She does very limited sessions. She sends out a newsletter once a month with just openings for that next month or the current month. I think she sends it at the beginning of the month for that month. She only does, I think, one, maybe two Zoom sessions. The rest of her sessions are in person in Florida. She has a little guest house you can go and stay overnight, and it's in Micanopy, Florida. Antonio does sessions online and at his home in Charlotte, North Carolina. I had a session with Antonio in, I think it was either 2018 or 2019. I can't remember now. And my session was introspective. So it was about my current life and the things that I've experienced, the traumas that I've been through, what has made my soul grow. It was extremely healing for me to understand why I chose the parents I chose, why I went through the different traumas that I went through, and how that affected my soul growth in this current life. It was so empowering and so healing. That's what made me want to get certified in hypnosis. So while I would love to get certified in introspective hypnosis, that wasn't something that I could afford to do at the time. And Alba and Antonio do these together. They do them in Maryland. They do them in the Netherlands. They do all kinds of things together. So, and I think Antonio also has an online course to learn introspective hypnosis. Well, at the time, I was like, well, I can't afford that. I looked into QHHT. That was even more expensive. So the reason that I didn't choose QHHT is because it's limited to in-person and it has a very specific format, which is fine. It's fine for those healers that want to do hypnosis that way. There is nothing wrong with QHHT whatsoever. So then I started to research. I listened to another person. Her name is Allison Coe, Allison C-O-E, Allison Coe. All these people have YouTube channels where they post their hypnosis sessions if the client allows it. So I listened to hers and I was like, wow, I really like this format. It seems kind of easy and laid back. There is a QHHT practitioner who I love, and her name is Suzanne Spooner. So before I chose how I was going to get certified in hypnosis, because I knew that I wanted to help people heal the way that I was helped, I listened to thousands of sessions between Antonio, Alba, Allison, Suzanne, all different types of hypnosis styles. Then I started researching, okay, is there a hypnosis therapy that I can get certified in, that I can afford, that I like the format? That is where Allison's hypnosis certification is BQH, Beyond Quantum Hypnosis. And she ran a special where you could use a code and get 10% off certification, which was all online. And because I had listened to all of Allison's videos and I thought, wow, this is great. You know, I think I can do this. So I checked into it and it was very affordable. It was about 1/3 the cost of Alba's, Antonio's, and even, I don't know, an eighth the cost of the QHHT through Julia Cannon. So I began to research it. I looked into it. I watched other BQH practitioners, and I said, okay, this will be good for me. So I went ahead and did the online certification. Because I had had thousands of hypnosis videos under my belt as far as watching them, learning from how do you, when you have somebody under hypnosis and they say, I don't see anything, blah, 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 how do you get them past that? So this morning when I was listening to Alba and Antonio's chat, they addressed that. So because of my training, I already knew what to do when you come across those sessions. Now, I have been certified for a little over a year. I've only done 5 sessions, and they were all practice sessions and they were all free. But in a couple of those sessions, my client did get stuck, and I figured out how to get them out of it. The first 4 I did not share. I actually didn't ask their permission to share them because I felt like I was too new. The last session I did with my husband, he said it was okay for me to share it. It was so long that I had to do it in 2 parts. It is posted on my channel if you want to go see it. His was different in the fact that he jumped from life to life to life without going to the in-between. So if any of you have read books, and that's another thing, I've also read, I don't know, 20, 30 books on near-death experiences, psychic mediums, and how they develop their gifts, receive their gifts, etc., etc. This has been a really 40-year learning journey that I've been on regarding the metaphysical and what is beyond and what are we made up of and how are we in these lives that we live here on earth. So Alba and Antonio do a great job of explaining why they do the types of hypnosis that they do, and it all has to do with not having to have a specific format, but being able to go with the flow, which is what I do. When I have somebody under, I am able to ask the questions. But another thing I want to say is anybody who's doing hypnosis, who is a hypnosis practitioner that is doing Alba's type, Antonio's type, or Candace Craw Goldman's type, which that's BQH, you learn how to move through those things. QHHT is a great thing, but it doesn't necessarily have the tools to get you unstuck from a place because you're only allowed to do a specific format. Incidentally, Candace Craw Goldman and I believe Alba were both trained in QHHT before they branched off and did what they do, which is a more of a flow with hypnosis. So I'm going to put the link to Alba and Antonio's Zoom chat that they posted that I was listening to. If any of you have been curious about hypnosis, now they do, in the beginning, it takes like 5 minutes for them to get their microphones. You can fast forward through that. There's some glitch happening, which often happens when we're dealing with the metaphysical because the frequencies interfere sometimes with that. So I'm going to put the link to that there. I will also try to put the link to Allison's and Suzanne's and Antonio's. I won't try. I will do it. To their channels. So if you're curious about hypnosis, you can go and look at that. But I am going to start taking clients in person in Maine. I have found a space. I have this space here in my home, but I would prefer not to do. I live way out in the boonies, and so I would prefer to have a studio. So I recently met Jamie Crane from Energy Mend, and she has a website. She does a lot of things, and she's got a beautiful studio in Saco, Maine, and I'm going to be able to rent space there so that I can do my hypnosis sessions and cards if that's what people want there. So I wanted to post some information about that because I'm getting ready to take off and ramp up with that business. The people that I did the BQH hypnosis with that were my practice sessions. By the second session, the person was like, you don't need to practice. You've got this, right? So what I want to tell you also is when a person is doing hypnosis, I think I started to say this before and got sidetracked. And you will see it if you watch Alba and Antonio. We are led by our guide. We are simply a channel. And one of my practice session number 4 that I did, I was driving to Portland because I went to this person's, she had a studio because she's a Reiki practitioner. And when I was headed there, I don't listen to anything. I talk to my guides for at least an hour before I'm going to do a session with a client. I'm talking with my guides. I'm asking for guidance. I'm trying to make sure I'm clear and protected and all that. And I'm asking my, whoever my client is, I'm asking for their guides to be able to come in. Okay, and so I was talking to my guides, and I don't know what I was saying. I think I was saying something like, well, I hope this is successful. And I hear laughter. And my guides are like, well, you're not doing this. We are. You're just the physical body there, and we are acting through you. We're the ones who are figuring out where this person needs to go to heal, where is the best part. And I was like, wow. And it was like an aha moment for me. This is not me, Lisa. I am simply the channel, and I am getting into a space and getting my client into a space where we can talk to the higher self, talk to the soul, talk to the guides, and go wherever it is that they need to go. So sometimes it's a past life. Sometimes it's something that happened in the present. Sometimes it's even a future life, which is amazing. So I had my session with Antonio, and then a couple of years later, I did an online gathering with Alba where she did a mini hypnosis where we could go to a past life and a future life. And wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. Thank God I recorded what I was saying, because she kind of puts you under, you've got your computer there, and you're only there for like 10 minutes in each of those because it was mini, right? And it was amazing. So, anything can happen in a BQH or an introspective hypnosis session or one of Alba's. You never know where you're going to go. Your higher self, your guides are going to take you where it is that you need to go at that time for the best outcome, for the highest good, for your healing, okay? So I wanted to put those links there, so if you're curious, because I only have one session, but if you're curious about them. Now, Alba is a master. I don't consider myself anywhere close to where she is. Allison Coe, she reads the transcript of her. She doesn't post, but I would consider myself more on the level where she is. But Suzanne, Alba, Antonio, Allison, all fantastic. So if you have been curious about hypnosis, I know you've heard me talk about it before, this would be a good place to start. Watch a couple of videos from each of these practitioners. And if it's something that you would like to do, I am working on getting a website and a calendar. But right now, if you would like to book a hypnosis session with me, it takes about an hour of prep time with the client and myself talking about what they want to do, where they want to be, and then the induction, so the going under or whatever you want to call it. And when you listen to some of these sessions, they're gonna explain. Alba talks to her clients at the end of every session. I think Antonio does too. A lot of his recent ones are in Spanish, so you may have to go back, a year or so to find the English ones or the ones that aren't translated. And the client explains how it felt when they were under and what that was like. And I can also do that, but because I'm the practitioner, I like for the client to hear it from other people, not just from me if they're going to have a session with me. So if you would like to get on the books, I'm hoping to have my slots for May and beyond, okay? So just send me an email, northstarenergy207@yahoo.com, so we can discuss this. But in the meantime, if you're curious about hypnosis, please go and watch this Zoom chat. It's called Alba Weinman and Antonio Sangio's Zoom chat. And it was, it was recorded about a month ago. But I'm going to put the link, and I'm going to put the link to the other channels. So if you're curious and you want to do this, so for my first 50 sessions, probably, no, not probably, for my first 50 sessions, those are going to be $200. And this is basically a 3 to 4 hour block of time. And then after 50 sessions, they'll be $250, and that's going to be my price for the hypnosis sessions. So it's about an hour of talk, and it's anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5 hours in the actual hypnosis, and then it takes a little bit to bring the person back. So it's going to be $200, and you will have to block out a 4-hour period of time to do this. It may end a little sooner than that, but I don't ever want to say, oh boy, you know, we have to go. So I want to give it plenty of time. I think my husband's was the longest, and it was 2 different ones, and I think it was a little over 2 hours. The 4 previous to him were about an hour and a half under, and an hour of discussion. So that was like 2.5 hours. Okay, just to give you an idea. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I am happy to answer anything you want to know about hypnosis. And until then, I'm always going to continue with my cards and coffee cups because I just absolutely love doing that. I love connecting with my guides and getting out the messages that they want to get out for each sign, for each person. I still can do readings over Zoom if you want a card reading. That's perfectly fine. You can email me for that as well. And hopefully I will have my website and calendar up by the end of April, beginning of May, and then I can move on with my business. All right, people, you know I love you. You know I'm going to say peace and kindness every single day. I hope to see you soon. Watch some of those videos if you're curious, and then reach out to me if you have any questions. All righty. I love you all.